Hi folks, my name's Les Creevy. This thing on? There we go. Oh, boy. My name's Les Creevy. I'm an attorney from Montoursville, actually Route 87. What is left of Route 87 after last week's flood. We practice in Lycoming and Tioga and Bradford and Sullivan and Susquehanna and Wyoming counties and a little bit in Clinton County. Most of what we do deals with folks who are getting leases or getting rights of way or giving rights of way easements or getting royalties and showing them how to deal with these royalties and how to organize the ownership of them the proper way and how to pass them on to the kids. And that's, I've got to tell you, I've been practicing law for 42 years. That's pretty enjoyable work. We've got a lot of clients, dairy farmers, worked all their life hanging on by their fingernails, and finally something good has happened for them. And to that extent, God bless the oil and gas industry. Saves a lot of farmers. And a lot of those folks want to keep that farm. When you talk to those folks, and they come in, it's important for us to find out what their goals are. And I'll tell you, the first goal is save that land. Save it for the kids, save it for the grandkids. A lot of these folks have century farms. It's been in the family for 100 years. They understand that the oil and gas is going to be here for maybe 40 or 50 years, but the land's going to be there forever. You know, it's already been in the family for 4 generations, and they want to keep it in the family longer than that. They're concerned about taxes. They're concerned about death taxes. I think there's a bunch of lawyers and financial advisors running around the state artificially scaring folks about the threat of catastrophic death taxes when for 99% of folks it just does not exist anymore. Especially with the new federal state tax rules and $5 million threshold and $10 million with portability between husband and wife. Very, very, very few folks that are ever going to have to worry about that. I think it's important for folks to understand and for realtors to understand to deal with these issues what this stuff is really worth. What is it really worth? We're seeing some very, very, very bad appraisals from folks who have absolutely no understanding of how the oil and gas industry works, throwing big numbers that just have no basis in fact at all. If you're going to be doing an appraisal, or if you're going to be having an appraisal, what's the purpose of the appraisal? If it's for tax purposes, okay. A theoretic logical number works. But if you're really trying to anticipate what some buyer will really pay a willing seller, that's an awful lot harder to do. There's a great deal of difference, of disparity. There's a well-location plant called, there's a production unit called Chancellor Egancheck in Terry Township, Bradford County. It has 2 wells on it. One well is producing 8 million cubic foot a day. The other well is producing 2 million cubic feet a day. That's a 4-to-1 disparity, and the wells aren't 1,000 feet from each other. How do you explain that? You know? I think that when we're looking at what this is really worth, what is its real value, and how does the landowner plan for that, we see a lot of information come across our desk. We see sales, we see leases, but we see production numbers. Because we ask folks, and many of our clients show us their check stubs, and we see firsthand, month to month, what the production really is. And we can use that firsthand information then to create decline curves. There's nobody in Pennsylvania that has a really good decline curve on this Marcellus. Does it decrease 80% in the first year? Does the well production decrease 80% the first year like the original numbers from southwestern PA showed? Or is it closer to 65% in the first year? And when does it flatten out? In the 4th year or the 7th year? We're trying to get that information and to do those studies and do it with first-party information, check stubs. We see a lot of folks check stubs. I'm going to tell you what this is worth. I'm going to tell you what it is on average. On average, value of a Marcellus well in north central or northeast Pennsylvania in the first year of production is $100 per acre in the production unit per well per month. I'm going to say that again. In the first year, the average is $100 per acre in the production unit per well per month. Now, what is the average number of acres that a landowner has in a production unit? The average number is less than 33, about 32 and a half. I've seen a lot of well location plats and I've seen a lot of production units. They're recorded, you can get them. Get one out, look at it. Look at all the parcels, look how many owners there are. If you didn't count the number, the parcels that only had single digit acreage, 95% of the landowners would have less than all their acres in the production unit. If you look down all across the board, 85% have less than all their acreage in the production unit. Now, folks can be in more than one production unit, and folks can have more than one well. If you are from Susquehanna County, Cabot's business plan is to drill their wells 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boom, 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 right down the line. I've got clients in Susquehanna County that are getting $40 million a month. 10 wells, 4 or 5 production units, 250 acres. Do that math according to my formula, and that's $250,000 a month. But most folks are like Mr. Average that's getting $3,300 a month. $3,300 a month for a retired or semi-retired dairy farmer is a very comfortable addition to his retirement. Very comfortable. It ain't going to make him Jed Clampett. There are somebody and some people in the audience is older than I am. And he's not going to have to worry about federal estate tax, because it ain't going to get him anywhere near $5 million. But it's going to be a very comfortable retirement. Even the folks that are getting $250,000 a month, that is going to last forever. So they've had all their wells drilled, and they're all going to hit the decline curve at the same time, like right now. Next year it's only going to be $100,000 a month. It's only going to be $100,000. And then the next year it's only going to be $75,000. But those that are drilled on by some of the other companies, perhaps Chesapeake, who will drill 1 of 6 wells, and then as Aubrey McLennan, the president, says, he'll come back when gas gets to $6. Well, gas might not get to $6 for a while. We got to get demand. In any event, we've got to understand what this asset, what these things are really. The other thing we've got to understand is that what a gas lease does to the value of a property. If you own the property and you own the mineral rights and you have entered into a gas lease, you think, well, I have increased the value of my property because I have added to it the potential of a regular and perhaps significant income. And that may be true. But you've got to understand that 85% of the landowners don't get all of their land in the production unit. And suppose you had 100 acres, and suppose you only had 5 acres in the